You're listening to the PRO Media Network, the next level in entertainment.
Here goes throwing it down. How about a poster? Anthony Davis is on fire.
You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
For all things Pelicans, we are the Pelican postgame report on the PRO Media Network. I'm Big Q and we got DC chiming in via Skype. And on this show, we'll be covering the Pelicans win, 108-89 win over the Boston Celtics, the injury-depleted Boston Celtics, number one defensive team in the NBA. The Pelicans get a very big win, and we'll cover that game with stats, facts, and breakdowns and interviews. Coach Alvin Gentry, Anthony Davis, and Cheik Diallo will chime in, and other things as well. And before we get started with the rundown, we're going to give you a round of applause for joining us today on the Pelican postgame report on the PRO Media Network. DC, before we get in the rundown, how you making out, my brother? How you doing today?
I'm doing all right.
Real good, real good.
Glad to be on the show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We missed you the last couple of shows, bro. Glad to have you back, bro. So let's get right into it by the rundown on the PRO Media Network's Pelican postgame report. The rundown brought to you by the good folks at theposhlifestyle.com. That's www.theposhlifestyle, life spelled with a Y, L-Y-F-E style.com. And suppliers of organic supplements, organic personal effects similar. You have deodorants without the aluminums and chemicals in it. You have toothpaste the same way. You have shampoo without the chemicals. They even have animal shampoo for your pet. Organic, picture that. So, and also water filters that you can cook and bathe in without having to worry about all the toxic sludge or soup that's put into your water and passed off as clean water. You can make sure you clean it out yourself. If you're not cleaning your own water supply, you are literally insane. So get a water filter now from the people at Posh Lifestyle, and you can even get a deal on it. They got hundreds of dozens of products for sale there. And remember, when you go to www.theposhlifestyle.com, you can go there and put in the sports coma, all lower caps, and get a 10% discount on your final purchase. Remember, the Posh Lifestyle, not just a lifestyle, a website, but a lifestyle. Let's get into the rundown. And we're going to, like we said, we're going to break this game down with stats, facts. We got the interviews coming up from Coach Alvin Gentry, Anthony Davis, who went on an absolute tear in this game, and Cheick Diallo off the bench. He makes his appearance on the Pelican postgame report. Cheick Diallo is doing this thing. The Pels also, they beat up on the Celtics, injury-depleted Celtics, I might add. We have to throw that in there, but they still got the win. Solomon Hill returns in a limited capacity on his birthday. We'll get into that. We talked about Cheick Shines. That's right, Cheick Shines in the game with 17 points. We'll talk about it. Can the Pelicans build on this success over the Celtics? Can they get back to their winning ways? We'll pose that question and we'll get the answer. Gentry was fined. We'll tell you how much he was fined in one of the topics. Rondo comes back and brings stability as he facilitates the offense, plays good defense in the game. We'll get into Rondo's the conductor of the offense for the Pelicans. And then toward the back end of the podcast, we'll preview the Dallas Mavericks game with stats, facts, and prediction. We'll tell you who will win that game and why. Now let's get right into it. DC, the Pelicans come up with a win here, a pretty good win here against this Boston Celtics club, 108-89 in the game. Anthony Davis was, of course, the guy that led the way for the Pelicans. He had 34 points and 11 rebounds in 33 minutes. And AD, despite the, he was, I guess you could say, we kind of talked about it yesterday. He could have been more aggressive in the game against against the prior game. He should have been a little bit more aggressive against Houston than what he was, but he made up for it in this game. He was very aggressive, getting his customary 34 points and getting help from the bench. What are your thoughts on the Pelicans win over the Boston Celtics?
Good team victory, man. Everybody got an assist, like 9 players at least with 1 assist. I thought that was real amazing. Al Gentry opens up his bench. I think he's been listening to the Pelicans post-game report, man.
Been young.
He gave Cheick Diallo some minutes, major minutes, which contributed to 17 points. And I believe that's what we said last time. We should have gave him some more minutes. And keep listening to us, Al. Guide you in the right direction, baby.
Yeah,
So,
we might
I
be
love
able to
that,
keep
man.
his job.
I love seeing a full team effort, everybody getting out there, because we have some good players at a lot of different positions, and utilizing them all to their best skill set will definitely get you more victories than losses.
Well, Al Gentry, keep listening to us at the Pelican post game report, and you might be able to keep that job. It's not rocket science, folks. I mean, the bottom line is, if you rest your players, more than likely you'll get more out of them by playing. That's why there's such thing as a reserves, and he's not done that consistently throughout the year. He hasn't dug deep into the bench, and I'm one of those guys. I've been saying that DC is another guy as well, has kept saying it, that he still would have DeMarcus Cousins had he had used his bench properly, as opposed to using 3 players off the bench, 8-player rotations. Had he had dug into 2 more players and played Emeka Okafor, not Emeka, he wasn't here at the time, but if he played Amir Asik and Cheick Diallo at least 10 to 12 minutes a game during that period of time, he wouldn't have abused it and ran DeMarcus Cousins into a brick wall like what he did. So, that's ancient history. Now the Pelicans get a major win over the Boston Celtics.
He said by giving his players on the bench more minutes, they had more juice.
And don't that just make more sense?
I agree with your sentiments, but I was like, really?
You took you 30 years to figure that out, right?
Really?
30 years. I've been in the league for 30 years. And it took Al Gentry 30 years to recognize that point. We've been yelling at Gentry all damn season long, man. We've been yelling it all season damn long, man.
Week 2. What we saying that like week 2?
Yelling it to the hills, DC, about this. But anyway, let's see what Grandpa.
Well, better late than never.
Right. Let's see what Grandpa got to say. AKA my pops calls him Sleepy Gentry. Let's see what he got to say about this one. Here's Al Gentry.
What's your pops
I
call?
thought that we played. Against a quality team, I thought we played as well defensively as we could possibly play. I thought everything that we did. I thought. Coach Erm had a great game plan. I thought the guys followed it to a T. I thought we were just really good defensively. We were really good on the boards. And then I thought offensively, what we have to start doing, I think, is playing guys in shorter stretches, because I thought we did that tonight, and I thought we had a lot more juice as far as running and cutting and taking the ball to the basket in our offense. So I think what we have to do is the consecutive minutes we got to start to cut down a little bit, because I thought we were much more active, because we got AD and those guys in and out of the game.
Coach, speaking of juice, Cheick Diallo, season-high points tonight. He seemed to be everywhere during his minutes on the floor.
Yeah, he did a great job, and I think for him, when we were struggling a little bit, he gave us a big boost energy-wise, Thought he did a great job guarding Monroe, he's a big size difference there, but I thought he did a really good job guarding Monroe, and then I thought he did a good job getting back on the boards, but just his running in our offense opened up everything. He did a great job of rim running, which in turn I thought opened up the game for other guys.
Coach, did you guys make halftime adjustments today? Did you point things out to them, because the two halves are drastically different?
No, I think what we talked about is that we just didn't have the juice or the energy offensively, and we also decided offensively that we had to maybe cut down the consecutive minutes and see if that would give us a little more juice. And then I thought when Rondo, the way we started the third quarter, and then when Rondo came back in the game after subbing him out, I thought he really gave us a big boost offensively as far as pushing the basketball and getting open shots for guys.
How did you feel Solo played? Did he look like he was...
Oh, he's fine. I think for him, it was just getting him out on the court, playing 5-on-5, and letting him get a little confidence, in his body, really, more so than anything, that, I can run, I can cut, I'm going to be okay. Obviously, he didn't take a shot, but just to be in those situations. Excuse me. But I think you can see that every day will increase every game will increase the minutes a little bit, but it was about what I expected, really.
Can you talk about just how important the bench contributions were tonight to get 40-plus points out of the guys, to get double figures from both Mirotic and Diallo, and then, of course, Ian continuing to play well?
Yeah, Ian's been playing great. I talked to him afterwards, and I think not so much from the offensive side, but from the defensive side of the basketball, I think he's really been good. We've been playing on their primary ball handler or their scorer in the backcourt, and I think he's done a great job with that. So it was just a good team win for us, much needed win against a real quality team. I know they're missing some people and stuff, but that team is still a really good quality team, and they've won games without Kyrie this year anyway.
How much does Cheick's style of play kind of ignite the when he plays the way he kind of runs the floor and scores the ball?
That's Coach Alvin Gentry, man, talking about the win over the Boston Celtics. Let us reiterate, even though the Boston Celtics is considered one of the top teams in the NBA, they were playing this game without some serious, some of their top personnel. Kyrie Irving, the all-world point guard, he was not available because of a knee issue. Also, Marcus Smart, who was one of their top reserves, he's not there. You had Jaylen Brown was one of their top players. He had that concussion off that nasty dunk fall that he had that bust his ass on. That was really hard, man. And he's still out. And then, of course, Jason Tatum and Al Horford, who's soon to be a future Hall of Famer. He was in there as well, and they just didn't do enough against, to carry on. I mean, the Pelicans just had more in the tank, too many depleted guys that weren't there. But the Pelicans did what they were supposed to do, DC. They was able to secure a win over a team suffering from injuries. And by the way, the Celtics, they are not any worse for wear after losing that game. They're still like 7 games above the third team. I think Cleveland is the next team behind them, and they're like 8 or 9 games ahead of Cleveland, so they can afford to absorb some of these injuries and lose a few games. The Pelicans, however, currently they've jumped up, DC, from the 8th spot to I think the 6th spot in there. I'm gonna have to check it again. So
because the Rockets beat Memphis, so that put us right back, man. It's been a seesaw type of year with this playoff.
You absolutely,
yeah,
it is.
You almost can't get too high or too low about any of these standards, really.
You gotta stay Drew Holiday emotion. You gotta be.
That's too low. That's too low.
You gotta have Drew Holiday's boring, melancholy attitude. Anyway, what's your thoughts on? You heard what Gentry said.
Drew appreciate that.
What's your thoughts on Al Gentry's comments, man? What you think about that?
Oh, actually, they're good comments. I like some of the stuff he said, but again, Al Gentry is the opposite of Drew Holiday. I think he's a little too high, man. We won the game, and of course you're supposed to give some sentiments and some compliments out. I think when we had these victories against top-tier teams, Al Gentry gets a little too excited, man. He's just too many compliments and just too gushy, which I guess is slightly understandable. He paid about $15,000 for that victory. He fired his team up and the stuff he said in the last press conference. So to see them take heed to that and move on and get a victory is a beautiful thing. But I think he should channel a little bit of his inner Greg Popovich and just, let's just move on. We were supposed to beat this team. Kyrie Irving didn't play. Marcus Smart didn't play. Jaylen Brown didn't play. We're supposed to win this game, so we shouldn't be that excited.
That's good comments. And speaking of that, it must have mattered because he complained about the referee and the officiating was a lot better this game.
We got calling, yeah.
You got the calls, 25 attempts. The Pelicans.
In his defense, I can understand him being happy for that. I get it.
Right. So there it is. But looking at the rest of the game, we're going to play Anthony Davis on the other side of the break. About to hit our break in just a minute. We got like maybe a minute or so before we hit the break. But let's go over some statistics while before the break. Pelicans 50% from the field versus the Boston Celtics 40%. Boston did shoot a percentage point better than the Pelicans from the 3-point line, shooting about 34.6%, while the Pelicans shot 33%. Then you had New Orleans turn the ball over and Boston at the same time with 13 turnovers. They kept the turnovers down. Rebounds were 54 apiece for both teams. So that was the Pelicans battling in there as well. Pelicans had 33 assists in this game. They got back to circulating the ball, which it shows. They moved the ball around. it opens up everything. 33 assists versus 17 from the Boston Celtics. Like I mentioned, the turnovers at 13 apiece. Fast break points, the Pelicans 17 to 15, and they dominated the points in the paint. I mean, almost by 20 points, 54 to 36 points in the paint battle. Andy Davis, huge in this game for the New Orleans Pelicans. He showed up in a massive way, 34 points and 11 rebounds in 33 minutes off of 14 of 24 shooting. So big day for Andy Davis. He had a good production from the bench as well. And we'll talk more about it on the other side of the break. When we come back, we'll hit you with some more Pelican-related topics. And we'll preview the Dallas game also on the other side of the break. You're listening to the Pelican post-game report on the PRO Media Network. Stay with us.
Get all the latest news and updates from your New Orleans Pelicans at the Pelicans Eye View, the new and official Pelicans Daily Journal, covering everything Pelicans. Attention, everyone. Get breakdown on games, free agent signings and potential moves, unbiased opinions and straight up facts with statistical analysis from G Balance. Go to www.thesportsdaily.com/Pelicans-I-View.
I'm a Saints and Pelicans fan, so the only podcast I can get my fix is The Sports Coma with Big Q. The guy's intense, funny, and they always keep it real.
Check out The Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
What's up, sports world? This Big Q from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. Talking to you about the website, theposhlifestyle.com. That's right, poshlifestyle.com. A great website where you can get great products at great prices. They sell organic herbs, vitamins, supplements, water filters for your home, EMF and cell phone radiation protection, healing magnetics and healing crystals, personal protection devices like cell phones, stun guns, and mace sprays, organic deodorants, shampoos, soaps, toothpaste, and more. They also sell 10A grade Brazilian hair. 10A music is available now. All kind of the latest downloadable mixtapes. So what are you waiting for? Head on over to the poshlifestyle.com. That's the Posh Lifestyle, life spelled with a Y, LYFE style.com. Put in the Sports Coma for the 10% discount on your purchase. It's a win-win. So get your mind and body right with the Posh Lifestyle.
Forget ESPN or Fox. Get straight sports talk from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
For all things Pelicans, we are the Pelican postgame report, and we are back. This is podcast 166 on the podcast, and we covering the Pelicans' win over the Boston Celtics. As DC astutely made mention of, this was a win that the Pelicans should have gotten without all the personnel that was missing from the Boston Celtics. The Pelicans get the win. They're now 40-30. The Pelicans have 40 wins. 40 wins on the season for the New Orleans Pelicans. 40 wins. That's a big deal right there. Looking at the rest of the numbers, we about to play Anthony Davis in just a minute. Going over his numbers once again. 34 points, 11 rebounds, 14 of 24 from the field. 33 minutes for Anthony Davis in this game. Behind his scoring was Cheick Diallo. He had 17.6 rebounds in 24 minutes, 7-9 shooting from the field. Mirotic got going. He was the third top scorer for the Pelicans, 16 points, 10 rebounds, had a couple of blocks in 23 minutes. Even though Mirotic was 4 of 12 from the field and 1 of 5 from downtown, he still was able to get to the free throw line and convert 7 of 9. So Mirotic continues to do his thing. Also looking at the Etuan Moore, who continues to struggle. He was 4 of 9, 3 of 5 from downtown, but he had 11 points in his contribution as well. So let's play a little Anthony Davis, see what AD has to say about the win over the Celtics. Here's team star Anthony Davis.
Just the way season high tonight, just the way he played. Playing well. He comes in with a lot of energy. He plays hard. He plays well for us. So he just wants to come in and just help the team any way possible, and whether it's defensively or offensively. He come up with big plays. I think he did a great job of guarding Greg Monroe tonight when he was on him, and then made some tough shots. So he played well tonight.
Just from his style of play and the way he celebrates and stuff like that, how fun is it for y'all when he's playing well off the bench?
It's fun to watch. He celebrates every different move, but he's definitely fun to watch.
How important is it to win in this building, full house, kind of get that momentum and get,
Well, I think it was just good for us because it was a good bounce back game for us. Tough one last night, and then come in number one defensive team and score on them, but then hold them to not sure what they had, but under 100. So it was good for us to kind of bounce back from last night and get this win.
How important was the minutes you guys been playing, knowing the games you have coming up, for especially guys like you and Drew, to be able to sit down, manage your minutes, and still have a comfortable win like this?
Yeah, it was good. Drew only played 29, something like that. I played 33, so that was good for us, knowing the stretch we're about to go into, where we might play 40. So it was good to play under our normal minutes, have tomorrow off and get some rest, get some treatment, and be ready for Tuesday.
How good was it to have Solo back out there, considering how long he's been here?
That was good. Just his presence on the floor was amazing. I'm glad to see him back out there. He made a lot of right plays. He said he felt better than what he actually expected to feel, so which is good. But it was good to see him back on the floor.
How would you describe that fourth quarter?
Sandy Davis, man, giving shots out to Cheik Diallo and basically telling everybody else the role of the game, how the game went, and he was a big part of it. Giving Cheik Diallo a lot of credit because he deserves it. 17 points for Cheik, 7 of 9 from the field, 24 minutes of action, 6 rebounds in the game. DC, thoughts on Andy Davis congratulatory speaking of Cheick Diallo?
I think he's right on point, man. And this game, this breakout game for Cheick Diallo, if you want to call it that, he deserved it. We spoke highly of him in games where he probably only scored 4 points or so. But his impact is clear if you watch the games and you see, like Alvin Gentry said earlier, how he gives them energy. Cheick Diallo is Dennis Rodman-esque. That's the best player I could find to describe him. Not saying he's good as Dennis Rodman, but he makes an impact without scoring points, even having the ball in his hand. He's always out there playing hard. And I think anytime guys see a guy like that, it just motivates everyone on the team. So it's a blessing and very deserving that he gets 17 points. And they said he's the first one in, first one out. So you definitely love to hear that from one of your younger players, too.
Well, Cheick Diallo is definitely earning that, man, because for a long time he didn't earn Gentry's trust or confidence because he benched him. I mean, they wouldn't even send him to the G League where he can get some opportunities to kind of build. We go to the G League, average 17, 18 points a game. Then he come back and sit down. Finally, L. Gentry is giving this kid an opportunity to play. We've been yelling to the hilt about giving this man an opportunity to play, and eventually Gentry is doing it and finally realizing the benefits that Cheick Diallo brings. So let's listen to what Cheick Diallo has to say on his post-game interview as he makes his Pelican post-game report debut. Here's Cheick Diallo.
The energy that you bring to the floor when you come in, what do you think your impact is for this team?
I mean, that's, it's a work in progress, like I always say. It's a great opportunity for me. Every time I step in the car, every game is a matter to us right now. So every position is a matter. So every time I play, so basically we just got to play hard, I came from the bench, so that's what I do. Just bring energy every single night.
You feel like you're starting to find your niche now?
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah, Definitely, yeah, I'm getting my rhythm back, because every time I step in the court, like I say, it's a great opportunity for me to show what I can do.
Where do you think you've grown the most in the beginning of the season?
Oh, it's a lot of different right now, because the beginning of the season, like I say, I was not playing, so it's kind of like a frustrating. But now I think I got the time now, so I just to me, I feel like I'm growing like a player right now, defensively and offensively now.
Are you having fun?
Of course I do.
How big has it been? You said you had already started a relationship with Mecca before, and how big has it been for both he and Anthony for your work on the defensive end?
Me and AD started, this is my second year, but Nico just came now and Okafor just came now, so I feel like it's a great a combination right now. We just need to work hard at the same time every time. So I feel like we got a lot of way to go, but I think we feel each other a little bit now.
You told me earlier when you point, that's to Kevin Hansen. What did the arm cross mean tonight?
Oh, that means they were kind of forever. Basically, my best friend told me, she was like, just try it. Probably fan going to like it. So I was like, oh, probably not, but I just try it first time. Everybody be like, Wakanda forever. So tonight, I do it again. So I feel like people like it. So I just want to keep doing it every time now.
So you figuring out how to work with Nico on that second unit once AD goes to the bench?
That's Cheick Diallo, man. Cheick Diallo, as you can hear in the background, Rajon Rondo was yelling from the other side of the room, giving him an opportunity because this is his first post game. He got an opportunity, man. He had a spotlight on him, so good for him, man. Good work, Cheick. And big ups to him as well, man. We've been major supporters of Cheick Diallo here on the Pelican Post Game Report. The man's a hustler. When he gets on the floor, good things happen, and it was good to finally see him get his due, his credit, man. And L. Gentry, Grandpa Gentry, my father calls him Sleepy. Keep playing this, man. Do not give this man at least 10 minutes a night. That's what hurt their butts against the what was that game? DC, a couple of games against San Antonio. Cheick Diallo didn't play at all, and his energy, defense, and effort could have really helped in that game. DC, last thoughts on this game before we move on to our topics.
Good game. If we could play like this every game, I think it's not out of the stretch of imagination to think that we could run the rest of the games we play. But probably won't happen. But let's see. Hopefully we can get another 8 victories or so to solidify our spot in the playoffs. So let's try to play a full team game all the way out. Hopefully Solomon can contribute a little more than tonight, see his minutes go up, and hopefully he turns it around and adds another element to the team, which will be wonderful moving into the playoffs.
Well, that segues into our that interview brings us right into the Cheick Shines effort. 17.6 rebounds. We just touched on that, his contribution on what he can bring. You just really said that well. So, and then Solomon Hill, of course, he played in this game. He had 8 minutes on the court. He just had 1 assist, no points. He didn't score anything. But just getting back out there, you could kind of see he was a bit nervous, getting used to being back out there. That's a bad injury. A long time ago, not even a long time ago, 2 or 3 years back, might even. Damn, it's amazing how science changed in such a short span of time. A hamstring would mean you've done for the year. They wouldn't play you for the rest of the season. He got hurt before the season started, right around the preseason time. Before the preseason jumped off, he got hurt with that hamstring, tore that hamstring, had surgery, and now he's back playing. That's amazing to me because usually that was you done. It's over. We shutting you down. But he got out there, he played a little bit, 8 minutes, and he's going to be under minute restriction. Don't expect too much from this guy, but he had 1 assist in the game, no points at all. But Solomon Hill, good to see him come back. I mean, to come back off a major injury like a hamstring in the game. So big ups to Solomon Hill, who finally, he made it back onto the court. Now let's talk about this. You made a comment about the Pelicans. You thinking that the Pelicans can build on this win. Of course, this is the upcoming this Dallas game we'll preview in a little bit is the 3rd game of the 5-game homestand that the team has to complete. Starting Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday with back-to-back games. It's going to be interesting. Then they got Houston, the Rockets once again toward the weekend. So the Pelicans have a very stiff challenge to override. Can the Pelicans get back to their winning ways? Of course, I think you got Dallas coming in, and Dallas is not so good, but they play the Pelicans well. What's your thoughts on that? Can the Pelicans actually start building? Because I remember your prediction, DC. You said we had 25 games left before we gave a little preview of the season. You said that the Pelicans will win 15 games of the 25 remaining games. Well, they went on the 10-game winning streak, and they won that game. So let me come back to you now on this point. Do you think the Pelicans can get back to their winning ways and get back up into the standings once again?
Most definitely, and always give a window. You laugh at me because you say, you need to stick with something, but I said 15 to 17 games. So we got about 12.
You
or
got
13
just
games
about
left.
that if you want to talk
So
about that, yeah.
Yeah, so I definitely think they can maybe supersede my original predictions and get the 18, possibly.
You didn't foresee them doing that 10-game winning streak, yeah. So yeah, you're right on par with it.
But they definitely can get back to their winning ways against a team like Dallas, who's a low-tier team, but they play hard. I actually think their organization is setting them up to lose and to tank. But the players, I don't think they're really having that. And the guys they put out on the floor still come out there and try to do their best. We've lost twice to them already, and we've won the other game, so we definitely need to win this game. And I don't see them losing again to them, already knowing what they're capable of, even though they're a bottom-tier team. So I think the Pelicans definitely go in and win this game. And the key to this game is to stop them from the three-point line, because in both games they beat us. They were outstanding from there. So if they can do that and continue with the offense they had last night against Boston, we got a victory. It's that simple.
Just to correct you, the Pelicans lead the season series with Dallas 2-1. So the Mavericks did beat the Pelicans by 8 when they came out here, and they just was shooting 3-pointers. But the Pelicans had 2 prior wins, 99-94 in Game 1.
Oh, we beat them twice?
Beat them twice, 126-109 in Game 3. Okay. So they're two games won, looking to completely lead the series 3-1, and more importantly, keep ahead of the Western Conference race. But yeah, anyway, let's move on to the next thing. Gentry is fine. Now, Gentry talked a lot of smack. We played it on the last episode of the Pelican post-game report, which was a pretty fun edition. But we played it, and Gentry was, livid. But then the NBA said, well, you might be right, but we can't have you talking about our officials like that. So they fined him $15,000 for criticizing the officials. And boy, do you talk about not having free speech. When you fine for something that's obvious, that was a terrible call. The NBA don't even put out a statement and say, you know what, that was a mistake the referees made. It's just no, they are not. They can't make any mistakes, and even if they do visually make a mistake, you cannot criticize them at all. $15,000. So what's your thinking on that, DC? I know you was proud. You was upset about it as well. Comment on that for me.
Yeah, I think it's ridiculous, man. Not just here. We can send this over to the NFL. I actually don't think they have it in place in the MLB or in hockey or in any other sports. They seem to be able to speak freely. I don't understand what's so wrong about someone telling the truth. It's almost like we live in a world where you can't be real. They just want you to be fake, shut up, and get a check. And I think it's just ridiculous. It'd be one thing if Gentry was just making false accusations, and they're like, look, you can't misrepresent our officials like that. But anybody with 2 eyes who watched those games can see what's going on. So it's very obvious. And the fact that they came out the next game and the officiating was on point and we easily won the game should speak volumes. So we basically paid, Gentry paid $15,000 for a victory.
He paid for the win, huh? I guess.
Boy, he did, man.
If he could keep doing that, man, he'd be a
you
happy
want,
fella.
You
I don't know if
want,
he make that
win,
much.
you got to pay, baby.
I don't know if he make that much to keep paying, but he need to keep doing whatever he's doing. But anyway, let's
talk. If he does make that much to keep paying, I guarantee if he does it again, they're going to charge him more money. They're going to get to a point where, look, you just going to have to shut up because I can't afford to keep talking.
That's true. Rajon Rondo, let's talk about Rondo going into this next topic. Of course, Rondo played 32 minutes in the game. He was 2 of 5 against his former team that he took to the NBA Finals and won a championship with. So, of course, it's always good to stick it to your old team. Rondo, 32 minutes. He was 2 of 5 from the field. 11 assists in the game. Of course, 33 assists totally for the Pelicans, 11 of which belonged to Rajon Rondo. He finished with 4 points after sitting out the previous game due to rest, trying to rest the old fella. his contributions, DC, you could see once he got back on the floor, he just conducted everything perfectly and did what he usually do. Even only had one turnover in the game. So that just shows you 11 assists with one turnover. Rondo seeing the floor moving and orchestrating as usual helped the Pelicans to really come up with a nice win here. What's your thoughts on Rajon Rondo?
You said it perfectly, man. A conductor of the Pelicans train, man. He keep everything on track, most definitely. And I think it expands deeper than just some assist numbers. He gets people in the right places. Like, they just have a good flow to the game when he's on there, when he's out there. And he seems to kind of set the table for everybody because that energy typically transfers even when he's off the floor. And the bench comes in and keeps it going.
Yeah.
On the defensive end as well, you don't see a lot of those wide open three-pointers. So Rondo definitely probably knew a lot of their plays, as other teams have said he does. And I think he keeps his teammates a player or two ahead, and they kind of know a lot of things that's coming, and they're able to transition and move about accordingly. And that translates into a win, man. And even when we don't have wins, a lot of times when Rondo's out there, our team plays good, at least on the offensive side of the ball. There's always a lot of passion, a lot of unselfishness, and it's almost the hallmarks of a true floor general, man. He's one of the last of a dying breed, in my opinion, of a true point guard.
Right, Rondo's doing big things.
Or point guard. You say point guard, some people say point guard.
Well, he's definitely doing big things for the Pelicans. Hopefully we can bring him back next year as well to keep doing that, because we could definitely use him.
We definitely need to re-sign Rondo.
I think DeMarcus,
maybe he can train up a younger guy that we can get to take over the reins once he's ready to leave. He's not going to be around for,
I don't think
another 10 years or so. But he got about, I think, 3 or 4 more good seasons.
I don't think DeMarcus Cousins would have it any other way. But let's get into the speaking on the preview and breakdown of the Dallas Mavericks game coming up tomorrow afternoon in the Smoothie King Center. The Pelicans on the 20th of March will face off against the Dallas Mavericks. Of course, like we told you just a few minutes ago, that the Pelicans lead the season series 2-1. The last win in Game 3 was a 126-109 win over the Dallas Mavericks, who seem to play the Pelicans pretty good, especially when Harrison Barnes is involved. He takes it as a personal challenge to get up against the Pelicans. I don't know what it is, but the Dallas Mavericks are not looking too good. Of course, they're one of the bottom dwellers in the NBA. 4-6 of the last 10 contests. They're averaging 103 points a game while giving up 105 points a game, so that'll definitely get you on the wrong side of the column quick. 44.6 shooting from the field, 41 rebounds a game, 23 assists per game, 4 blocks a game, 7 steals a game. Losers of 2 in a row, 4-6 the last 10 games. And they do have a few injuries. Salah Madri, the big center, he's going to be out in this game. J.J. Barrera is day-to-day as well in this game. Top scorers for the Dallas Mavericks, Harrison Barnes averaging about 19 points a game. He's the top scorer as well as rebounder on the team. And top assist man is J.J. Barrera for his squad. Going to the Pelicans, averaging 112 points a game, giving up 111 points a game, 48% from the field, shooting, rebounding at 44 rebounds a game, assisting at 26.5 a game, 6 blocks per game, 8 steals per game. They just won the first one since losing. They lost 2 in a row. They're back on the winning side with a nice win, and 4-6 the last 10 games. So the Pelicans looking to try to keep that steady. Anthony Davis averaging 28 flat and 11 rebounds a game. Rajon Rondo is the top assist man with 8 a game. The Pelicans currently sitting in the 6th spot in the Western Conference playoff race. DC, break down this game and tell me who wins and why.
The Pelicans definitely take this game, man. We're on a roll, most definitely. And I think when they play the way they played against Boston, it don't matter who the opponent is. They're virtually unbeatable when they play on both sides of the ball, and they don't turn the ball over, man. If they're their own worst enemy, so I don't even have to talk about them if the Pelicans come out there and execute the way I think they will, especially after the controversy with their coach getting fined and everything, I think this is just the spark they needed to push them for maybe about the next 5 or 6 games. They can ride this wave. You got Cheik Diallo playing. You got Alvin Gentry wanting to incorporate the bench. What can I say negative about the Pelicans right now until they go out and fall on their face, which I don't think they will in these games coming up. So definitely I see them taking this game, and I'm going to give out a score of 111 to 101.
All right. Well, that's DC there giving his thoughts on the game as well. That'll be the end of the podcast. And I would have to say they're going to win this game as well. I won't give a score, but I think the Pelicans could win this game handily over Dallas and keep things going. Outside of that, it'll be the end of the show today. We'd like to thank y'all for joining us here on the Pelican Post Game Report. As always, please go to our Facebook page, the Sports Coma's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course the YouTube. Join up, subscribe, share, like for more content. Also go to www.patreon.com/the PRO Media Network to donate to help the show, to help the platform. So for me, DC, thank you for joining us today, and peace.
Forget ESPN or Fox. Get straight sports talk from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
What's up, world? This is DC from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. Have you ever been sitting in front of your computer screen, or in traffic, tired, lacking energy, feeling drained? Did you know there are electromagnetic fields or EMF waves all around you that cause this disease? Get it? Dis-ease? Luckily here at Posh Lifestyle, you can get your EMF protection. They have pendants, the shell-dyed bricks, cubes, and pyramids. Check out the poshlifestyle.com. That's life spelled with a Y. POSHLYFESTYLE.com for all your health needs. So get your mind and body right with a Posh Lifestyle.
Clear, clean, great-tasting filtered water. We're all thirsty for it. But in the U.S. alone, an estimated 2.5 million plastic bottles are added to the environment each year in search of the perfect drink of water. There has to be a better solution, and there is. Crystal Quest, a leader in the manufacturing of water filtration technology, has been providing clean, drinkable water for 20 years. With a deep commitment to providing the highest quality products and excellent customer service, Crystal Quest has been recognized by such leaders as Consumers Digest, Dr. Oz, and Colin Ingram's The Water Drinking Book. Providing cost-effective, reliable water filtration systems for residential, commercial, and industrial customers worldwide. Offering our customers the cleanest and most environmental-friendly drinking water at a rating of high purity. With Crystal Quest's water filtration technology, you can rest assured that your water will be crystal clear. Contact our network of authorized distributors and join our thousands of satisfied customers.
Just log into the poshlifestyle.com. Once again, that is the poshlifestyle.com.
You're listening to the Pelicans Post-Game Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
In today's world, children are bombarded with negativity on television, online, and at school. Our kids need to have a positive outlook on life and the world around them. I want to share with you a valuable resource you can use to bring positivity into your child's life. It's the new book, 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image, from author and dad, G.J. Barabino. This is a simple guide loaded with wonderful and inspirational affirmations designed to uplift young people's spirits. This positive and powerful children affirmational is chock full and loaded with wonderful inspirational sayings that will lift your child's self-image to whole new levels through the awesome power of spoken word. 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image from author and dad G.J. Barabino. Available on Amazon. Order a copy for yourself, your child's teachers, or anyone you know with children. 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image. Order your copy today.
What is big? Big is taking flight. Big is sending back that weak sauce. Big is ball handling that sets the hardwood on fire. New Orleans Pelicans. Do it big.